In today's episode of One Song, One Amp, we check out the mighty Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. Now this is my early 2000s 3-channel dual rectifier. It's my trusty dual rectifier that I've had for some years now. I don't know how many years, maybe 7 years or so. I don't remember, but it's kind of like my rectifier workhorse, if you will. And I wouldn't say that this is the most popular Mesa Boogie rectifier out there, but I like it a lot and I think it definitely sounds really good and it has its charm. It's fat, it's sizzly, it's scooped and all those good things, and it's definitely loose in the bottom end. But again, that's kind of the sound that I want to hear from a rectifier, if I'm being honest. So if you're not familiar with the one song concept, I basically wrote a song with 10 guitars, 10 different types of pickups, 10 tunings and 10 different styles. And it's basically a test to see how well an amplifier can perform under all those different styles and tones. So in this episode, obviously, we're going to feature this amplifier. Now the amp is being fed through my Grossmann Fatbox 1x12, loaded up with my Celestion Vintage 30, mic'd up with 3 mics, 2 SM57s and 1 MD421 Kompakt going into the DAW, and I've only applied a low cut there. So the guitar tones are very honest, pure, and raw here, as with all the other episodes in this series. Now in terms of the tones, I did try to get some variety in there. So we're starting on the green channel for some clean and push clean tones. Then we're going to the orange channel for some crunch tones. And then we're going to the red channel. Now first I tried the vintage mode, which isn't my favorite mode. I think that it sounds a little bit humpy, as you might hear when you listen to the tones. But I also used the modern mode, which of course is my favorite mode of this amplifier. That's the most bright and scooped sounding mode that this amplifier has to offer. But I also tried the modern mode on the orange channel, as you heard in the sort of heavy rock section. And I think that that also sounds pretty good. Now I do think that the charm of the rectifier lies in the pure tone, so the unboosted tone. However, for the 8-string and the 9-string tones, I am going to boost the amplifier with this KHDK Ghoul Screamer Junior, it's the first time that I've tried this pedal on the channel, so that should be interesting. And yeah, what else is there to say? Oh yeah, the settings on the back. I have it set to solid state rectification and the power setting to bold. So that's the most sort of tight and forward sounding setting that this amplifier has to offer. Of course, this one has been customized by one of the previous owners. They painted the front black. I think it looks really cool with this amp. So yeah, let's have some fun and check out this Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. First in the full mix, which is in my opinion the most important test for an amplifier, and then the isolated guitars as well. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on the sounds of this amplifier. I'd love to know. Also, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as that really helps the channel out. And if you want to support this channel, you can buy something at my affiliate links for Tomon, Sweetwater, and Tube Amp Doctor, or get an IR pack or a Quad Cortex capture pack and all that good stuff in my web store. All right, guys, enjoy. Cheers.